Hello and welcome back to my channel, Angelia's Hobbies, and if you know me, you know I love the library. So we just recently moved May 1st and I didn't have time to get a library card for a while, but I finally got a library card, been to the library a couple times, and you know what is coming, a giant library haul, because this library, while it does not have the greatest selection on Libby for audiobooks, I do have my old library card on Libby to take care of that. It does have a lot of new releases that I was able to get. So this is pretty much all new releases this year, and I am very excited for them. So first, I will start off with a book that I already read. I just finished this yesterday, and if you watch my channel, I haven't been reading a lot of thrillers this year, but this thriller was probably one of the best thrillers I read this year, and really happy. If you know any other books like this, it is Hidden Pictures by Jason, I'm gonna mess up the name, Recklock, I believe it is, and it has very creepy pictures inside from this little boy. I will show you one of them, and it is a very quick read. I finished it in 2 days, even though it is over 300 pages. It is 368 pages. I finished it in 2 days. Usually I take at least sometimes a week to finish a book, so if I'm reading it physically, but the pictures did help, and it did just read so fast. So this is about Mallory Quinn. She is sober, and she was working at a daycare for that helped sober people, and she is ready for a different job. So she takes a new job taking care of 5-year-old Teddy, and she loves this job, and he loves to draw pictures, and she loves being his nanny, but his pictures very quickly become cute to scary, and he has this imaginary friend named Anya, and that is all I'm going to tell you about this book, but it is so good. And yes, it might have went a little, I've seen bad reviews where it went off the hinges, and it wasn't that good towards the end, but I actually really loved where this book went. And definitely, if you have not read this thriller yet and you're not really into thrillers that much, but you still read them sometimes, I highly recommend this thriller. So good. And yeah, like I said, I finished it in 2 days. Really love it. And then let's talk about 2 books that I'm currently reading. First is Electric Idol by Katie Robert, and my lovely children, oh, here's my bookmark. Okay, I was like, my lovely children has taken my bookmark away, but I am on chapter 9 and 94 pages into this. Really enjoying it. It is the second book of Neon Gods. I think the series is called Dark Olympus series, yes. And this is the sister from the first book, and Eros. So it is, let me see, what is, oh, Psyche and Eros. And Eros is actually hired to kill Psyche from his mom, is like, yes, you need to kill that girl. And he's like, I don't really want to. So he goes to her and he says, so instead of killing you, how about you marry me? So it's a marriage of convenience. I'm not too far into it, but that is what I know so far. Really enjoying it so far. And the next book that I am currently reading, I am on page 41 of this, chapter 4, and it is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi. This is the author of The Death of Vivek Oji. I have not read that one yet, sadly, but this one is so good, and definitely kind of goes with that hot girl summer trend, and really love it. This cover is absolutely stunning and beautiful, and I will tell you, I did not know much going in about this book. I was just like, oh, I heard that it's kind of like a romance, I think, like fiction romance, not really sure. I just know that everybody has said it's a really good summer book. And I don't want to leave too much, but so far, the main character, it's been 5 years since an accident killed the love of her life, and it's kind of going through her still grieving, but also everybody's like, oh, come on, you need to move on, you need to date, you need to do this. So I will just go with that, and if you want to read more of the synopsis, you can, but so far, really, really good. Cannot wait to read more of this. This is what I will focus on finishing next, because this is due next. So this is what I will focus on finishing within the next couple of days. And then let me see, what order do I want to go in? Who knows? Maybe I'll just go with the next one that is due next, and that is The Unsinkable Greta James. This was on Book of the Month, maybe in February, something like that, February, March, and I really wasn't sure about it, and so I was like, well, let me just go ahead and get it from the library. But this does look like just another great summer read, and it is about an indie musician reeling from tragedy and a public breakdown, reconnects with her father on a week-long cruise in this pitch-perfect story about the ways we recover love in the strangest of places. So, just after the sudden death of her mother, her first and most devoted fan, and weeks before the launch of her high-stakes sophomore album, Greta James falls apart on stage. The footage quickly goes viral and she stops playing, her career suddenly in jeopardy. The kind of jeopardy her father Conrad has always predicted, the kind he warned her about, and when he urged her to make more practical choices with life. So I think it's just her reconnecting with her father, and we will see. I'm not the biggest fan of musicians or actresses, but I really want to try more of them and see if, kind of just like test my theory. Like, do I not like them, or were the books that I've read with them I just didn't enjoy? So that is The Unsinkable Greta James, and I will probably, after I finish these two, move on to this one, but who knows? I'm very much a mood reader, so I cannot plan that far ahead. And then next I have some sapphic books. So this is Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour, and I have read one book, maybe two books, I think just one book by Nina LaCour, but this is, I believe, her first adult novel, and maybe it's not adult, I don't know. It says, when Sarah Foster runs away from home at 16, she leaves behind the girl she once was capable of trust and intimacy. Yeah, it is an adult, because it says, years later in Los Angeles, she is a sought-after bartender, renowned as much for her brilliant cocktails as for the mystery that clings to her. And I don't really know too much about this. Maybe it's like a second chance romance. I don't want to know too much about it, but I did just see Michelle from Michelle's Library give it 5 stars. It is under 300 pages. It's 290 pages, and really excited to get into this one. This was also a Book of the Month choice, but I just haven't really been getting Book of the Month lately. I might actually cancel my subscription. Who knows? But that it is the first book, and then I have some young adult books here. These next two are still sapphic. Next is I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. She wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue, and also One Last Stop, but this is her kind of like debut young adult novel, and I think it's paper towns kind of reimagined. Look at the inside of this. Like, if I like this book, there's also, you can't really see, but there's like, yeah, kind of kiss prints on the front. And if I like this, I am definitely buying this because it is so beautiful. But I have never read Paper Towns, so I have no idea what to expect. But it is about Chloe Green, and she is close to winning. She spent the 4 years of her mom's, spent the 4 years since her mom's moved her from Southern California to Alabama for high school, dodgy, gossipy classmates, and then she kisses Shara Wheeler, and then she goes missing, I believe it is. don't really know too much about it. I've actually heard not great things about it, so I will allow myself to DNF this, but who knows? It's really gorgeous, and I've been wanting to read it ever since it came out. And then next is She Gets the Girl. This is from one of the authors of 5 Feet Apart. It is by Rachel Lippincott and Allison Derrick, and don't know too much about this either, but I think it is about a girl that's like more of like a player, and then that, because I started reading it and I think it is like, yeah, more of a girl that's like a player, and then I'm not sure about the other girl, but we will see. I started listening to actually both of these on audio and just wasn't in the mood for them, so I decided to pick them up physically. And then my last YA book is The Counselors by Jessica Goodman, and I've never read from this author before, so this will be my first by this author, but as soon as I saw this cover, it so like intrigued me. Perfect summer mystery thriller, and it is about Camp Alpine Lake is the only place where Goldie Easton feels safe. She's always had a special connection to the place even before she was old enough to attend. The camp is a lifeline of Roxwood, the small town where she lives. Alpine Lake provides jobs, money, and prestige to region, but few Roxwood locals get to reap the reward of living so close to the glam summer camp with its 5-figure tuition and rich kids who have been sent there for 8 weeks by their powerful parents. Goldie's one of them. Even with her towny background, Goldie has never felt more at home than she does at camp, and now she's back as a counselor, desperate for summer to start and her best friends Ava and Imogen to arrive, because Goldie has a terrible dark secret she's been keeping, and she is more in need of their comfort than ever. So it's about the friendship, I think, and Goldie's secrets. So I have heard this recommended by Kristen from Kristen's Corner, and it looks really, really good. It has some then and now, and looks like a fun, quick read. And this is also pretty short to get through. It's a little over 300 pages, 343, and YA mystery thriller should go by pretty quickly. And then I still have 4 more. I don't think I'm going to get to all these in 3 weeks, but I definitely want to try. But all of these are such like good new releases that I'm so excited for. So one I'm definitely going to try to get to this summer. If I have to return it, then I will just try to buy it. But this is going around everywhere, and I was so excited whenever my hold came in for it. And it is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This has been compared a lot to Love in Other Words, childhood best friends to lovers, and it's also been compared to People We Meet on Vacation, and they made, it's like a decade, goes through a decade. They haven't seen each other for a long time, and Emily Henry says it is a radiant debut, so I definitely trust Emily Henry's recommendations, and we will just see what happens. I have heard it's like definitely not like light and fluffy kind of beach read, but definitely more emotional, but I am here for that. And then another, I don't know if this is thriller or horror, might be more of a horror, but it is Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzel. And I seriously don't know anything about this, but I have seen it everywhere. And it says the last time Mauve saw her cousin was the night she escaped the cult. Yes, it is a cult book in which they were raised. For the past 2 decades, she worked hard to build a normal life in New York City, where she's kept everything and everyone at a safe distance. When Andrea suddenly reappears, Mauve regains the only true friend she's ever had. Soon, she's spending more time at Andrea's remote Catskills estate than in her own cramped apartment. Mauve doesn't even mind that her cousin's wealthy work friends clearly disapprove of her single lifestyle. After all, Andrea has made her fortune in the fertility industry. Baby fever comes with the territory. But the more Mauve immerses herself in Andrea's world, the more disconnected she feels from her life back in the city, and the cousin's increasing attachment triggers memories Mauve has fought hard to bury. but confronting the terrors of her childhood may be the only way for Mauve to transcend the nightmare still to come. Spine-chilling and sharp, just like Mother is modern Gothic novel from a fresh new voice in horror. So it is a horror, and this cover is absolutely stunning, and I'm really excited to see what this is all about. Gabby Reads just read this and gave it a pretty high review, I think, so really excited to get into that one. And then I have two more. I have Counterfeit by Kirsten Chen, and this is a Reese's Book Club pick, I think, for the month of June, so really happy that I got this so quickly. It is under 300 pages, deckled edges, which I'm not a fan of. Let me know if you're a fan of deckled edges or not, but I am not. But this is about Ava, and she has like a, the idealistic life, the great husband, kid, blah, 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 but actually her world is crumbling, her marriage is falling apart, her extensive law degree hasn't been used in years, and her toddler's tantrums are pushing her to a breaking point. And then she reconnects with a college dropout friend and finds out why she dropped out, different things like that, and she gets kind of reconnected with her and into some mysterious things. I think this is more of like a mystery, maybe even kind of like a cozy mystery. I don't know. It says, for the fans of hustlers and how to get filthy rich in rising Asia. The story of two Asian American women who band together to grow counterfeit handbag scheme into a global enterprise in an incisive and glittering blend of fashion, crime, and friendship. From the author of Bury What We Cannot Take in Soy Sauce for Beginners. So that sounds really, really fun for it to blend fashion, crime, and friendship. And last but not least, I have Nora Goes Off Script. I have seen this everywhere as well for a summer romance. And it doesn't say it on the inside flap, but I swear this said for the fans of beach read and something else. And I was like, well, I will take that then. I will have to see if I can look it up on Goodreads and see if it says that. I swear I saw that somewhere. But it is about Nora Hamilton, and she knows the formula for love better than anyone. As a romance channel screenwriter, it is her job, but then her too good to work husband leaves her and their two kids, and Nora turns her marriage's collapse into cash, writing the best script of her life. When the script is picked up for the big screen and set to film at her 100-year-old home with former sexiest man alive, Leah Vance, cast as her ex-husband, Nora's life will never be the same. So that's all I will read about that, but that sounds very, very good about a screenwriter, and she gets to work with the sexiest man alive, it sounds like. So really excited to try out this as well. And let me know what you're excited for me to read from this stack. Like I said, I am currently reading these two books, and I really loved Hidden Pictures so far. And I'm not even sure what to read next, but I'm thinking Shar Wheeler or The Unsinkable Greta James. And I have been loving summer reading. I thrive in the summer reading outside. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much for watching this library haul, and like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I will talk to you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.